Hello everyone! Today, we're going to learn about safety signs by looking at their shapes and colors. Let's get started. Mandatory signs. Blue circles. Blue circles with white symbols indicate mandatory actions. For example, wear gloves.
Wear gloves.
This sign indicates that gloves must be worn for safety. Safety helmet required.
Safety helmet required.
This sign indicates that wearing a safety helmet is mandatory. Safety goggles required.
Safety goggles required.
This sign indicates that wearing safety goggles is mandatory. Hearing protection required.
Hearing protection required.
This sign indicates that ear protection must be worn to avoid hearing damage. Wash hands.
Wash hands.
This sign indicates that you must wash your hands to maintain hygiene and prevent contamination. Foot protection required.
Foot protection required.
This sign indicates that you must wear foot protection to avoid injuries in hazardous areas. Prohibition signs, red circles with a slash. Signs with a red circle and a diagonal line mean do not do something. For example, no entry.
No entry.
This sign indicates that entry is not allowed beyond this point. No smoking.
No smoking.
This sign shows that smoking is prohibited in this area. No phones allowed.
No phones allowed.
This sign means that mobile phones are not allowed here. No trespassing.
No trespassing.
This sign indicates that trespassing is prohibited in this area. Keep out.
Keep out.
This sign means that entry is strictly prohibited for safety. Do not touch.
Do not touch.
This sign indicates that the object should not be touched. Restricted area.
Restricted area.
This sign restricts access to authorized personnel only. No food or drink.
No food or drink.
This sign indicates that eating and drinking are prohibited here. No running.
No running.
This sign prohibits running, often in areas like hospitals or schools. Warning signs. Yellow triangles. Yellow triangles with black borders are warning signs. They alert you to possible dangers. Caution.
Caution.
This sign alerts you to be cautious due to potential hazards. Toxic.
Toxic.
This sign shows that the substance is toxic and dangerous. High voltage.
High voltage.
This sign warns of high voltage that can cause electric shock. Wet floor.
Wet floor.
This sign warns that the floor is wet and may be slippery. Biohazard.
Biohazard.
This sign warns of biohazardous materials in the area. Radioactive.
Radioactive.
This sign warns that radioactive materials are present. Flammable.
Flammable.
This sign warns that the material is flammable and may catch fire. Safety information. Green squares or rectangles. Green squares or rectangles give safety information. For example, emergency exit.
Emergency exit.
This sign points to the emergency exit for quick evacuation. First aid.
First aid.
This sign indicates the location of first aid supplies. Emergency assembly point.
Emergency assembly point.
This sign indicates where people should gather in case of an emergency. Emergency phone.
Emergency phone.
This sign shows the location of the emergency phone for use during accidents. Fire safety. Red squares or rectangles. Red squares or rectangles relate to fire safety. For example, fire exit.
Fire exit.
This sign shows the way to the fire exit during an emergency. Fire extinguisher.
Fire extinguisher.
This sign indicates where the fire extinguisher is located. Fire alarm.
Fire alarm.
This sign indicates the fire alarm, which should be activated during a fire. Thanks for watching. Now that you know how to identify safety signs by their shapes and colors, you're familiar with some essential safety vocabulary. Stay safe, keep practicing, and continue learning. Goodbye.